welcome to tonight's episode of Beyond Focus TV. I'm Lydia Patel, and as always, I have a very special guest for you, Pamela Esposito-Amery, co-founder and CEO of telleveryamazinglady.org. She'll be with us for the next 30 minutes, so stay with us. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. Beyond Focus TV allows you to discuss contemporary topics affecting the Caribbean people on both a national and local level. The show features informed guests who offer insight, debate, and evaluate various issues. Beyond Focus TV builds on the station's mission to provide useful information to the Caribbean people in New York and abroad. Beyond Focus TV, where our viewing audience can get educated, informed, and empowered. Welcome back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. I'm Lydia Patel. And like I said, I have a very special guest for you, Pamela Esposito-Amery. Welcome to the program.
Hi, thank you.
Well, it's great to have you.
Thanks for having me.
So, a lot of information. You were talking about something so important today, which is ovarian cancer on a whole. It's like the evil C word. We all know that. But specifically, we're going to focus on ovarian cancer and telleveryamazinglady.org, which is an amazing organization. If you guys don't know about it, by the end of this program, you're going to be so informed. So let's dive straight into it. But before we get to that, I always ask, who is Pamela Esposito?
Well, I'm from Brooklyn, born and raised, and excited about having a community center in Brooklyn. I've got 2 Pomeranians and happy to be here today.
It's amazing. Your work and just being a part of the organization has, really made an impact. What drove you to want to even start the community center, start Teal? And it's a little bit of a rebranding. It's been known as Teal, but it's really Tell Every Amazing Lady. So, that's what the acronym is for. But give us a little bit of that backstory.
Sure. So never in a million years did I think I'd be running a nonprofit, but things happen in your life that kind of take you on a different path. And my sister was diagnosed with ovarian cancer at age 41, and she and I started the foundation together because we just felt like there weren't enough resources that she was looking for as someone with ovarian cancer. So we started an event, a walk first, and found that people came to us from everywhere saying, finally, something for ovarian cancer, where have you been? And we realized that the community needed a foundation. And so we offer the services that she was looking for. That's things like support, so finding another person that she can connect with who has ovarian cancer. We bring survivors and patients together. She was also looking to understand the disease, awareness and signs and symptoms. And also we need more medical research for this disease. So that's the 3 parts of our mission based on, what she had needed. And unfortunately, she did pass from ovarian cancer at age 45.
Okay, so she had 4 years extra, which is, from the people I know personally who've battled that, it was a much shorter time frame. So that's great. It seems to be a lot of miseducation, a lot of just not enough awareness and facts. We know it exists. I know the one common thing that everyone hears about is by the time it's detected, it's too late. So kind of let's talk about some of those facts that are really important, and it's not just for women. Men should know what their partners, their mothers or sisters, their wives could be encountering, and just how to deal with that as well.
Absolutely. So I'll first say that I'm not a doctor, but I've been doing this for 14 years and seen a lot. And our foundation has scientific advisory board members, which are doctors who advise us. So basically, ovarian cancer is something that is really tricky. It has vague symptoms. Some of the symptoms are things that women get all the time. It could be bloating, it could be back pain, it could be pelvic pain or abdominal pain, and certain times of the month someone might just have that anyway, or who doesn't have back pain, maybe from an old injury or shoveling or you name it, right? So there seems to be almost an excuse for the symptoms, or it could mimic something else. So what's recommended is if something lasts more than 2 weeks, that's when you should see your doctor and really question what's going on here and why am I still having these symptoms. Other symptoms could also be frequent urination. Some people actually have some trouble breathing. And if someone also has gone through menopause, postmenopausal bleeding could also be a symptom as well. So definitely check out our website for more of the symptoms and risk factors. But, there's many women that we've dealt with over the years, and it's not a death sentence for everybody. So ovarian cancer sounds really scary. It is somewhat of a rare disease, but it's 1 in 70. It's not 1 in a million. If you compare that to breast cancer, which is 1 in 8, right? 1 in 70. We've all got, 70 Facebook or Instagram friends or social media friends or something.
Right.
We know 70 people usually, right? Maybe not so intimately, but
yeah.
that's a number that's attainable, which is still a little bit scary, but it's something where our name says it all. Our name is Tell Every Amazing Lady. We want everyone talking about it. We want everyone to understand it and feel more comfortable having those conversations to get to the doctor a little bit sooner.
Amazing. So you and your sister, let's rewind a little bit. I love that the whole premise of Teal was it was on the premise that, she wanted those services.
Mm-hmm.
And they weren't necessarily available to the extent that she wanted.
Yeah, I mean, we live in the capital of the world, right? And so she was someone diagnosed with the disease and couldn't find the resources that she needed in the city. So we made them. It became that simple. Awareness was really important, where she was educated, went to the doctor, thought she knew what she needed to about her body, and was listening to her body. She had symptoms, and she was doing follow-ups and going for second opinions, and still just ovarian cancer was not on her radar, wasn't on the doctor's radar, and she just didn't understand it, and they actually lacked the tools for it. So, awareness is something that we always go back to. It's in our name, and it's so important for, again, that conversation to come back to, talking about it. You mentioned earlier, even the men in the people's lives need to know it.
Yeah.
A woman in a man's life might be complaining about symptoms or, maybe seeing something that could get someone to the doctor sooner. So we want everyone to understand this and talk about it. Going back to the mission, the support, she really couldn't find another person that had ovarian cancer. She actually got put in support groups with other women who had breast cancer or uterine cancer, other female diseases, right? But she really wanted to connect to someone with ovarian. Now, she was able to relate to some of those other women, but she just needed that connection. And that's where we came in and, started to develop some programs where we connect other women who have the disease. We call it the Teal Community. We have a Teal free membership program, so anyone who actually has ever been diagnosed with ovarian cancer can come to our foundation and have free support. If they're in treatment, we have free materials for them. All of our services for them are free. If it's their birthday, we have special little treats for them. So we have a lot of different types of support depending on what they're looking for. It's not only just support, but also their family as well. Caregivers need help, and unfortunately, a lot of people have also experienced loss, like our family has, and we have support groups and programs for them as well.
I love it. I mean, truly the work is up there. But you mentioned something so vital, where it's like even the doctors, it may not be on the doctor's radar. Mm-hmm. And personally, I went through that in my family, where the doctors that was not something even remotely on their radar until it was on the radar. Yeah. So how do we move forward? And I know this is not an immediate solution for this discussion, but how do you think we could move forward? Because if you are screening and checking and proactively doing things to only still have that be detected when it's already there, then there's a disconnect somewhere. There's something, the ball is being dropped somewhere.
Absolutely, yeah. So there needs to be a test, period. There's no screening test for ovarian cancer. And it has an old saying of the silent killer.
Yes.
Because, there are symptoms, but they're so vague and that's hard to connect, and because there's no test, so that's what they call it. But it whispers, we say, it actually has some of those symptoms. So when the doctor hears some of those symptoms, they could sound like other things, and it's really up to an individual to, if there's not relief and they aren't comfortable with whatever the doctor's saying, to go and get that second or that third opinion. Unfortunately, that's what we're up against for this disease. It is usually diagnosed in surgery. If you think about where the ovaries are anatomically, it's very hard to biopsy it. So it's, not something that shows up easily in testing, and there is no test. But I'll give you an example. Myself is high risk because my sister had it. I later learned that I had a genetic predisposition to it, so I got genetic testing done. Genetic testing is a test that somebody can do if they have a strong family history of not only ovarian cancer, but colon cancer, breast cancer, endometrial cancer, and some other cancers. Some people might have heard Angelina Jolie became very public with, she had a mastectomy because she had a BRCA gene, and in her family, she actually has breast and ovarian cancer, which sometimes can be very much linked together. Mm-hmm. And she saw it right through her family, all the women, her mother, her grandmother, her aunt, they all had passed away early on. And so she actually went after having her mastectomy to have what's called an oophorectomy, which was removal of her ovaries and fallopian tubes. She wants to live a long life, and she did the research. She had a genetic counselor, had the genetic testing, and went for these tests. Anybody can do that. There are ways that insurance companies can pay for that. It depends on what someone's situation is, how strong the family risk is, and we're a foundation that someone can come to if they want help or guidance through that, especially with genetics. That's one thing that we can do right now.
Well, hold that thought. We're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
We'll be right back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. So you were saying about the genetic testing.
Yeah, so it's one of the tools that we actually do have because we don't have a screening test for this disease, but at least, if someone has those strong family histories, not only of ovarian cancer, but again, breast or colon or other cancers as well, they should consider getting that done. So myself, I did get tested, and I have something called Lynch Syndrome, which is like BRCA1 or 2, just puts me at a higher risk for different cancers, and of course ovarian cancer, which my sister had. So things that I might do as a high-risk patient is get 3 tests. Even though there's no screening test, I want to be clear, there's 3 things you can ask your doctor for. Okay. One of them is called the CA-125 test. It's a blood test, and you can ask for that when you get, your cholesterol checked or any blood work, and they can just basically check off another box and, ask for that test, so that's easy. It also is not a perfect test, though, so when you do get the results of that, it could completely miss ovarian cancer, or it can be elevated for other reasons, many other reasons. One of them, as an example, could be like endometriosis. So it's not perfect.
What is CA-125?
It's a tumor marker blood test. And then the second thing someone can ask for is a transvaginal ultrasound. Many women, when they're pregnant, might have this test. It's just an ultrasound. You can ask a gynecologist for it, and especially if there's a family history or you're having symptoms, it's something you should push your doctor to say, hey, you know what, can we at least check this out? I'd like a sonogram. And then the third thing is a rectal vaginal exam, which is something that can be done during an examination, like a wellness visit at an OBGYN.
Okay, so you do those 3 things, so the best we could do is at least try.
Yeah, it's like, we like to say it's like looking for red flags. It can still completely miss it because we need that screening test. We need funding for research, which is part of what we do. It's the third part of our mission, finding more research for this disease. But in the meantime, at least we can know the symptoms, consider genetic testing, know our family history, and ask our doctor for those 3 tests. And know that it still could be missed, so we've got to be on our radar and really having these conversations and tell every amazing lady and man about it.
So right now, how many members does Tell Every Amazing Lady have?
So for ovarian cancer patients and survivors, anyone who's been diagnosed, we're up to over 300 women nationwide who get chemo kits, birthday kits, support with us, and on a regular basis, we're always engaged with them and helping their families. Nationwide, we have thousands of supporters. We have about 200 volunteers. We're doing events all throughout the year, and it's kind of endless. We've touched a lot of lives. Our reach number, I don't have off the top of my head, but it's definitely in the millions per year because we do some huge public service work. We light up buildings and monuments, and have been on TV like this, and are able to reach a lot of people, and it's so important for this message.
No, absolutely. And one of the key things is that this disease doesn't see race or color or anything like that. Like it's always funny to hear certain diseases, they try to attribute it like, oh, it reaches more of this community. No, ovarian cancer really doesn't discriminate.
It's anyone with ovaries. Even within the LGBTQ community, it's just anyone with ovaries. So everyone, knows someone with ovaries. It's within our families, and it's something to really pay attention to.
So in terms of funding, of course, you're a nonprofit, so you rely heavily on support. How has that been through COVID? And let's talk about COVID and how your strategies have changed a little bit.
Yeah, it's been really challenging for the foundation. So we have a thriving community center where we were hosting workshops and having people come into our center in Brooklyn, and had to shut down, of course, like everybody else. But we quickly transitioned. I've got to thank our team, our staff, our volunteers, our board, who really, stepped up when the time was needed to get us remotely working. We've been like much of the world, on Zoom a lot and offering services that way. We've increased our call banking. We call and speak to survivors on a regular basis and check in on families, or are remoting in virtually in some capacity, however we can. It's really changed the way we run our programs. We are excited to, slowly come back, and we have been making those steps, and our center is back open. It's by appointment only, but it's been really, really tough. For funding reasons, for fundraising, we saw a dramatic cut and decline in a lot of our grants, in our government funding, and
really, even on the government side,
all parts of our operations really saw a big cut, and it's been really hard to fix those repercussions. So we're working diligently, writing grants and looking for support from the community, and really ask anyone who can help to do what they can. Right now, actually, before the end of the year, we have a sponsor who offered us, if we raise $15,000, they will match that. And they have to do it on a certain link that we can give to you to post up. It's telleverymazingLady.org/doTERRA, and if someone donates on that page, once we reach 15,000, they will match it. So we'll raise $30,000 before the end of the year, which is really crucial to our programming. We still are actually still trying to raise over $100,000, but with that match, that will be double that income, which is really exciting and important for our programs.
That's amazing. It's crazy to hear that government funding. I mean, when you look at 2020 and what we went through, and what we're still kind of going through, because it's not over, it's hard to really see. I know they had to diversify funds. There's more imminent things, but this is something imminent. Between mental health and all these different things, it's like, you can't really cut these things, and we need this funding. So definitely at the end of the program, we'll make sure we have that link.
Great, thank
you.
You.
And really encourage everybody at home to support and donate. So we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. Stay with us.
Thank you.
Welcome back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. So Pamela, why don't you tell us what has been the most exciting and most encouraging part of this journey for you?
Well, I don't feel like I go to work every day, so I'm definitely really passionate about what I'm doing. So, the engagement on all the people we've met has just been, there's so many stories and people that we've met, and people I'll never forget who've even passed from this disease, who've taught us something, and, we can keep that moving on. I thrive from being inspired by all of them that have, touched my life, that hopefully we can keep doing that through our foundation.
And that's great, because you do have access to these people. And I would think that with COVID and expanding everything more virtual and digitally, that you've gotten more survivors who may not necessarily before would have been able to come to Brooklyn and be there, but now you might speak to somebody in the West Coast or in the Midwest, or who, especially in more places that are a little more remote, who definitely, if we're in the epicenter of everything and we're struggling, I just know other people, other locations are going to lean on this.
Definitely. We've found that it's something we started doing before COVID, and just it escalated a lot. There's so many women battling this disease in a rural little town somewhere in the United States, and really need us and find so much support from what we're able to offer them. So, in New York City, we are still doing, what we can, and starting to get more in person and planning for our events in 2022, outdoor events, and we're excited to see everybody and get our community back together. But we will continue these remote operations so that we can, make sure that we're still connected with all those other people in the rest of the country who need our help.
Absolutely. So 2022, you did kind of just give us a little sneak peek.
Yes.
You said there'll be outdoor events. What other plans are you looking forward? And I can't believe we're already about to say 2022 already. It's like 2021 just blew by. what's in the bag for 2022?
We're so excited to try to get back into Prospect Park. It was our original event. It's where we first started. The last 2 years we've had to, be on hiatus for a minute, and we're excited to get everybody back. It'll be next September, outdoors. Tentative date right now is September 10th, if anyone wants to mark their calendar. And, we have other smaller events sprinkled in throughout the year. We're planning for outside and really hoping, that everything's going to still work out, and of course all the PPE and safety guidelines will all be in place. We want everyone to just at least see each other and get back our Teal community. We everyone misses each other. The survivors want to see each other. The families need each other. So, as safe as possible as we can do it, we're really excited to get everyone together.
That is amazing, and it's exciting because, like you said, it's a community. People want to be out and about and definitely celebrate that. How do we get in contact with you?
So telleveryamazinglady.org is the best way to see what's going on, find out what our current new events are, or even our free workshops. So there's a lot of free events weekly that we even have that you can check out as well. And all our contact details are on there. On social media, we're mostly at Teal Walk.
Okay, great. Tell us a little bit more about these weekly webinars and events.
Yeah, so one of the things that came out of COVID that a lot of we found, not only survivors but also the general public, mental health, anxiety, stress relief. I mean, everyone struggled with that. So we offer meditation once a week on Wednesdays. It's 30 minutes. If someone, is on their way to school, work, or what have you, you just have to RSVP, and it's completely free. It's over Zoom. We send you the link, and you can be a part of our community. That's one of the free services we offer, and it's really for anybody.
I think I need some meditation. It's funny because I downloaded an app, and it's just not the same trying to do an app to meditate. I'm not saying it's not good, but I think it could benefit from seeing that. So I'm going to RSVP.
Sign up.
Yeah, sign up. And you at home, if you want to sign up for that. Like, there's so many great things. I think if you just do a little bit of research, you could definitely, find all that out. So Teal Community, Every Amazing Lady, we're so excited. It's just a lot of good stuff. Anything else you really want the audience at home? Like, what's a driving point if anyone takes away from this program? What would you want them to know?
So just listen to your body, talk to your family about your family history, and ask a lot of questions. Our name says it all, Tell Every Amazing Lady. Check out our social media and try to get involved, especially if you live in Brooklyn or really wherever you live. It doesn't matter because we have support and free programs for everybody. You don't have to be impacted by ovarian cancer. Just come check us out and see if we can help in some way and just get involved.
Amazing, and definitely whether it's through volunteering, and guys, I keep imploring the men because it's just like when you think about prostate, they're like, oh, why do I need to know about that? Yeah, you need to know, you need to be aware of what to look out for. So I think it's for everybody, be a support. I think we've just all endured so much so quickly. It's like we're building the plane when we're flying.
Absolutely.
So with Teal, and we forget that we're going through a pandemic and people are sick. On top of that, trying to battle, imagine being diagnosed with ovarian cancer and having COVID.
Yeah, there's actually been some studies about late-stage cancers now because people skipped all their doctor's appointments during COVID. So it's important for everyone to get to see that doctor. If there's something bothering you, check it out. Just at least go and see your primary care for your annual exam, the wellness visits for women out there. And to visit us if you want, you can ask questions, but you mentioned volunteering. We always can use the help. We have events going on all the time, and they're not just about cancer, so the audience out there, no matter what you're interested in, we are a community, and, we're just right here in Brooklyn and connecting with everybody from small-scale events, things that are wellness, women's health in general, family support, and fun programs. We do a walk and run. Any runners out there, we're also sometimes part of a marathon and half marathons, and we organize some of our own 5Ks. So there's a lot of different things that we offer and do. There's kind of a little something for everybody.
Okay, I think I have a couple of things. I have my own list. I hope you guys are making your list. But I have my own list that I have to reach out to you for because I want to do a little run. I could do a little 5K.
Great.
I could do a 5K with you guys.
We'd love to have you.
Let's support and donate and make some money. I love doing charity runs, anything like that, keeps you fit. Am I ready definitely not ready for a full marathon yet. I will work my way up to a 13, the half, which is 13 miles. But,
That's a lot too.
in the meantime, 5K. So 2022, lots of good stuff coming. If you have just overall questions about ovarian cancer or certain things, or they could reach out to you and just, I think visiting the website would be the first and best main point of contact. The website is so well done.
Thank you. Absolutely. We're about to relaunch our new website that's going to be offering a lot more services. So it's really going to span for everybody. Right now, yes, that is the best way to contact us. We also have the New York City half marathons coming up in early 2022, and we do have spots available for people. So from athletic to family to volunteering, community service hours, and school credit for students. Many different majors, no matter what someone's going to school for, we're able to, find a project for them to help us out.
I love it. You guys are just doing such amazing work, and it's in the name. It definitely is in the name. So great. And we're just so excited. We definitely want to have you back in 2022, get an update of everything that's going on. So we'll love to have you back.
Thank you.
Awesome. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, you can send us an email at info@beyondfocusmedia.com. I'm your host, Lydia Patel. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be back again next week. Same time, same place. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. Stay with us.
Beyond Focus TV show wants and needs your feedback. Did we blunder? Please let us know so we can improve. Was the show helpful to you? Drop us a note so we can share the success with our staff members. Is there something you think we could do better? We welcome new ideas and new approaches to old ideas. Do you have a great suggestion? Let us know and we'll work on it. If you would like to share your comments anonymously, please send us an email at info@beyondfocusmedia.com. If you want to get in touch with the executive producer directly, send him an email at gene@beyondfocusmedia.com. We really look forward to hearing from you.